guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a great day. In today's video, I'm coming up with something different. I just want to share with you some of the things that I did while I was trying to get pregnant. We all know that it's very important to run some tests, to do some examinations on your body if you have been trying to get pregnant for at least 1 year. You and your partner, you've been trying to get pregnant for some time and you are not getting pregnant. After some months or after some, at least higher should be 1 year, you have to go and run some tests and find out what could be the problem. For me, I started as early as few months when I couldn't get pregnant. I had to do some tests. The first thing I had to do was to check my uterus. I wanted to check for fibroids and cysts. We all know that fibroids is very dangerous. We as women, when we have fibroids in our uterus, that is where the baby is sitting. That is where the baby will sit for 9 months. So when you have fibroids in your womb, in your uterus, it's a bit difficult for you to get pregnant. So it's very important for you to check for fibroids and cysts. You know, although some women, when they have fibroids, they can still get pregnant depending on the size of the fibroid. If the fibroid is too big, it's very difficult because the fibroid is occupying a large amount of space where the baby is going to breathe and grow peacefully, you know. So it's very important that you check for fibroids, very important. And one of the signs that you will get if you have fibroids is heavy menstrual flow. Fibroids always comes with heavy menstrual flow. So if you're the kind of person that your periods, if you're not on any contraceptives, and you're not on any medications that make you to have heavy menstrual flow, if you have very heavy menstrual flow, it's one of the signs. So you might want to watch out for that. So the first thing I did, I checked my womb, I checked my uterus for fibroids, okay? And after I checked, I went back home to continue to try to get pregnant. The next thing I did is to check my hormones. You have to know that if your hormones are imbalance, it's very difficult for you to get pregnant. You need to check your hormone, especially your follicle stimulating hormones. If your follicle stimulating hormones are high, there's a probability that obviously you're not ovulating, and we all know that if you're not ovulating, it's difficult for you to get pregnant. You also want to check your estrogen and progesterone. They have to be a balance of both your progesterone and estrogen, and we know that these two hormones are being produced by our ovaries. So it is very important that you check your hormones, if they are balanced, if they are normal, if they are low, if they are high. All these things, they play a very vital role in our reproductive system, in our fertility. So you need to make sure that your hormones are balanced. You go to the hospital and they will take your blood. They will run this test to check for your hormones. So if you have been trying to get pregnant for some time now, check your uterus for any fibroid or cyst. Check your hormones. That was the second thing that I did. I checked my hormones, okay? And let me check my book. Okay, the third thing that I did after I checked my hormones, I was still trying to get pregnant. I had to check for my fallopian tubes. I had to take an X-ray for my fallopian tubes to check if the fallopian tubes are blocked. If your fallopian tubes are blocked, it is impossible. It is very difficult for you to get pregnant because those fallopian tubes, right, we have 2 fallopian tubes. That is where the eggs, when the eggs fertilizes, that is where it is going to travel through the fallopian tube into your uterus to stay. So if the fallopian tube is blocked, then it becomes difficult for that fertilized egg to travel into your uterus because it has to pass through the fallopian tube. So when you've been trying to get pregnant, you also want to make sure that you check your fallopian tube. It is very, very important. They will do an X-ray through your vagina. They are going to inject a dye through your vagina, and later they will do an x-ray to see if there's any blockage or whatever means. You know, the test is not very expensive if you're doing an x-ray, but for some people they cannot go through, they cannot do vaginally, so they will want to do a laparoscopy. Laparoscopy is just, they will do an opening on your stomach, like 2 holes, and they will put in an instrument that has a camera at the end to check your tubes, your fallopian tubes, and they will also want to check your uterus and all that stuff. So you want to first of all try the x-ray. All right, try the x-ray to check your tubes, if your tubes are blocked or not. Is very important. If your tubes are blocked, there are ways that you can unblock your tubes. So yeah, if you're trying to get pregnant, check your tubes. Very important. Check your tubes. And also another thing I would like to advise you is for you to do a pap smear. A pap smear is just, they will just take like the discharge from your vagina, and they will run a test to see if you have cervical cancer, to see if you have other problems with your cervix or some infections with your cervix, because it's very important. It is through our cervix that the sperm will pass and go and meet the egg and all that stuff. So if our cervix have problem, then it's very difficult for us to get pregnant. And apart from fertility, trying to get pregnant, it's very important for us to do a pap smear as women to check for cervical cancer, okay, to rule out cervical cancer. It's very, very important. You have to do a pap smear. Of course, these are the things that I would like to share, but you know, let me tell you, when you want to start a pregnancy journey, whatever, you want to make sure that you check for any infection, STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. You have to check for those infections, because we as women, our body, they restore infection, they will keep that infection for so long. It's difficult for us to have signs and symptoms. You will only have those signs and symptoms when the infection has really eaten you up and it has stayed for your body for so long. So it's difficult for us to quickly notice that we are having an infection. So the only means we can do is through a test. And when you have infection in your body, guys, it's difficult for you to get pregnant. So you might want to treat that infection first, then you continue with trying to get pregnant. It's very important. Run the test, especially gonorrhea, syphilis. It's just the worst case scenario, because before you have any symptoms, that means it has stayed for your body for quite some time. So try and make sure that you run all these tests. For me, this is just these are the tests that I did on my body when I was trying to get pregnant, and I decided to share it with you guys. So if you're out there, you're a TTC mom, do not worry, run this test, and of course couple with prayers, and I believe that God is going to do a great thing in your life. And I pray for all of you who are trying to get pregnant, that very soon that you will have your miracle baby. God will answer your prayers, and whatever is the cause, whatever is causing the delay, that God will remove every delay and He will manifest in your life, and you will come forth with the pregnancy. You carry the baby for 9 months and you'll deliver like a Hebrew woman. So guys, another thing, this is for the women. This is the tests that you run if you're a female. If you're a female, these are the tests that you have to run. It's very important. Check your uterus for fibroids, watch out for signs of heavy menstrual flow, and then check out for your hormone. If your hormones, check out for hormone imbalance. This is a very big problem for women that most of us don't even know about it, and it causes a lot of problem in our fertility. Another thing, you want to check your tubes. You want to make sure that your tubes are okay, they are patterned, because if it's blocked, there's nothing you can do, darling. There's nothing. But I believe with God, all things are possible. You want to make sure you check your tubes. And another thing, of course, your pap smear is very important. Even if you're not trying to get pregnant, we all know pap smear is very, very important. Take that test, check for any infection. Run your infection tests, make sure that you're clean, your body is clean, and your body is prepared to receive that baby. And for the men, of course, while you're checking yourself, the first thing that the lady will first check, because we have a lot of wahala on our body. You will check the uterus, you will check the tubes, you will check the hormones, you will check that. But for men, the major test which they are going to check is just the sperm. They will do a sperm smear. All right, they will run this test. So majorly for men, main is just that sperm. They will take your sperm, and of course they're not checking for one thing, they're checking for a lot of things. They will check for the sperm count, the amount of sperm that the man produces. There's a range that the amount of sperm that the man has to produce for it to be a normal sperm count. That is one. You might have a normal sperm count. The sperm count can be a lot, but if the sperm count, they will also check for motility. If the sperm count is not swimming, so if the sperms are not swimming so fast, then it will definitely be difficult, because when you discharge into that woman and the sperm have to swim to meet the eggs, right? So if it cannot swim very well, then you have a problem, even though your sperm count is very much, even though your sperm count is normal. Another thing is abnormal sperm. You know, the sperm, they have like, it's like a tadpole, right? Sperm is like a tadpole. If the sperm is not fully, if you don't have sperms that are fully formed, then I think you have a defect in your sperm. Like if you have a sperm, there's no tail, that is an abnormal sperm. You have a sperm, there's no head but there's a tail, it is not complete. Like you need to have a full tadpole kind of sperm thing. So it's not only about the amount of the sperm, it's about the motility, it's about the structure, it's about the sperm, if it's abnormal or normal and all that stuff. So yeah, so these are the things that I wanted to share with you guys. And also for hormone imbalance, you have to know that some medication can actually cause hormone imbalance. Some fertility drugs can cause hormone imbalance, so watch that space when you're on any medication. Try to know your body. Anyways guys, if you want to know how you can balance your hormone naturally at home without taking any medications, I will share with you. You can drop a comment down below this video and let me know if you want me to share that video. I will share with you. It's very simple, very simple home remedy to balance your hormone. So guys, I think I've come to the end of this video. If you enjoy watching this video, please do not leave without giving this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, if this is your first time watching me, hi, my name is Gilly. My name is Gilly James. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much. I see you. Thank you so much for your support. And until then guys, hit that red button, subscribe. Hit it guys, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell as well, so whenever I upload any video you will get notified. So until then guys, yeah, I'll see you again in my next video. I have to run now.